President Obama this week announced a dramatic cut to American presence in Afghanistan. He reduced our 32,000 troops to under 10,000 by 2015. That's the plan, anyway. Is it really as easy as that? Or is the president's plan for Afghanistan, does it mean big trouble for the future? Joining us now is National Security Editor of The Blaze and former CIA officer who did serve in Afghanistan, Buck Sexton. Welcome. Thanks for joining us, Buck.
Thanks for having me.
So what are the practical effects of this drawdown, do you think?
Well, the practical effects from our perspective is that now the president once again has made a decision really based entirely upon politics, I think. When you look at the timelines throughout Obama's presidency for decisions in Afghanistan, whether it's the review in 2009, which, by the way, just told people at the end of that year in 2009 what was already known in Afghanistan. It was really just a delay to the surge and now to the drawdown. It all somehow fits very neatly into President Obama's sort of electoral window, if you will.
Right.
The decisions always seem to fit perfectly into when he would want them to be decided that way. As for what it means on the ground in Afghanistan, there's no real difference that's been made, I think, in a few core problems. One of them being that there's the Pakistani sanctuary for the Taliban. That continues to be a place. They can run, they can refit, they can equip themselves, they can rest, they can train. That hasn't changed. So the things that would need to be different on the ground for us to be able to actually just pull up all stakes and go, that hasn't happened. So the president, again, is playing politics with national security, and I think that's not to surprise anybody, given the fact that his foreign policy is so bad, as we saw at the speech given just earlier this week.
Well, it's nonsensical.
There is no foreign policy, really.
It's a patchwork of responses to political realities here in the United States. But they are political realities. I mean, the public doesn't want a permanent occupation of Afghanistan. Should they want one?
No, they shouldn't want a permanent occupation of Afghanistan, but the president should be willing to tell the American people the truth about that, which is if you want to do what the president's now pretending could be done in 2 years, just in time for him to leave office, by the way. He'll be ending yet another war. If you want to actually accomplish those goals, you're going to have to stay there for 5, 10 years from where we are now with a larger troop presence than he's willing to.
So it's going to be a disaster. Does anybody really believe? Do you know anybody who believes Afghanistan won't revert to a dangerous Stone Age place like it was before we came?
I have not met a single person yet who has served in Afghanistan or who knows Afghanistan well who does not think that, given the timeline President Obama has set up, Afghanistan will not collapse into some stage of civil war, and then the anarchy we can expect from that within 3-5 years.
Does it make it more likely we will be attacked again?
Oh, that's very tough to see. There's a lot of al-Qaeda all over the world, and the Taliban and al-Qaeda aren't necessarily going to be working together, but it's going to be a very bad place for Afghans going forward. So we'll have to see.
I believe it. What a shame, given all the Americans who've died there.
Yeah, this is, well, once again, politics over national security. This presidency, it's really what you can expect. That's what they've been doing at every turn.
Buck Sexton, thanks a lot for joining us.
Good seeing you, Tucker.
Well, it's a story the press hasn't told you about, a secret memo showing the president's plan to use our military against Americans. Governor Mike Huckabee is here on that, coming up.